I want to start this video off by saying I've never counted my calories. I don't keep track of my macros. I just eat the same thing at the same time every day for months on end. I don't even know the amount of calories I consume each day, honestly. Now, you can say my system is flawed, but this just works for me. Always remember what works for me. It might not work for you, and that's why I urge you to experiment and see what best fits your needs and your goals. Now, the reason why I don't keep track of my calories or macros is because it's less time consuming for me. I've already experimented enough to know how to control the fluctuation of my physique. And what I mean by that is, if I look like I've been losing some muscle, or if I look too skinny, or even if I've been gaining weight, I know this most simple way to combat that is to add or take away a certain food in my diet. Calories in, calories out, essentially. So I'm going to show you my current diet and what I eat on a daily basis. I want to mention too that sometimes I feel like going to the gas station and getting a protein bar, or I feel like getting some nuts. But overall, my diet, it stays the same. And it also depends on where I'm at in my life. Right now, I want to minimize the amount of time I cook food. So where I used to eat about 3 times a day, I switched it to 2 times a day to give me more time throughout. I still eat the same amount of food. I still eat the same amount of food, but instead of my food being spread out into 3 meals, I've compacted it into 2 meals, 2 big meals twice a day, mainly because I want to focus on this YouTube channel and spend as much time on it as possible and just spend less time cooking, because cooking, it can get time consuming. So when I wake up in the morning, I drink one of these. It's a 0-calorie Bang energy drink. I have a bad caffeine addiction, and I don't recommend getting into energy drinks because you may become reliant on it like I did, and I'm still trying to get rid of this addiction. So if you have any tips on how to stop drinking caffeine, just let me know in the comments. Now, the first meal of the day comes after about an hour after I wake up in the morning. So my protein powder has these little scoop devices in them. I mean, you've probably seen it if you eat protein powder, but I like to keep them because I use them to measure the exact amount of oats I eat. So I'm not just eyeballing it and putting a different amount in the bowl each time. I put 2 scoops of instant oats in the bowl, add some water, put it in the microwave for about a minute. I then add 1 scoop of protein powder, followed by a tablespoon of peanut butter. And after it's all looking nice in the bowl, I put some water on it. Not a lot, because I don't want my oatmeal runny, but just enough to where it's nice and thick. It's a nice and thick consistency. After that, I add the water. I add 1 banana, and this tastes really good. It definitely just soothes. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but soothes my sweet craving. God, I fucked that up. But yeah, it tastes really good. And sometimes when I have really bad cravings, I want to eat, I'll just put some sugar-free syrup on that as well and mix it up. It tastes really good. And once I'm done eating the oatmeal, right after, I cook up some eggs. I used to spread my eggs out throughout the day, but now that I want to minimize my time as much as possible, I eat 6 eggs in one sitting. There's not much to talk about because I'm sure you guys already know how to make eggs, but I also just add some bacon bits, add to the flavor. But rarely, I'll sometimes add some shredded cheese, but not this time. So before I go on to the last meal of my day, I want to give you a tip that I follow thoroughly to make sure I'm eating the right macros. And I want to make sure that you know what to look out for. So when I say I don't keep track of my macros, I do, however, I eat what is based on the macros, if that makes sense. Now, let me give you an example. So here's this Lenny and Larry's Complete Cookie. Now, from the packaging, you can see it boasts a total of 16 grams of protein. Now, from a first impression, that's pretty good. A cookie with 16 grams of protein. Sounds like a good deal, right? Well, that's where you're wrong, because if you take a closer look where the nutrition facts are, where they're located, you can see that they don't want you to analyze them by saying, stop reading and just rip it open. Because that's where they are trying to trick you, and they want you to just mindlessly consume it. A lot of food companies do this too, but as we take a closer look, we can see that there's 420 calories per cookie. That's pretty bad for just a cookie. Now, if we take an even closer look, we can see that there are 25 grams of sugar. That's like eating 7 normal sugar cookies. There are only 16 grams of protein per cookie. The rule I follow is if it has significantly more grams of protein than sugar or fat, it's okay for me to eat it. Don't fall for the packaging marketing, and it's always important to read the nutrition facts, because this cookie is no different than 7 or 8 regular sugar cookies your mom makes or something. Now, I want to show you this Quest protein bar I like to eat. Now, as you can see, this protein bar has phenomenal macros, great macros, the best macros I've seen on any kind of protein bar. It has 21 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 9 grams of fat. And as you can see, the protein outweighs the sugar and fat combined. And I also want to mention, if the sugar and fat combined outweighs the amount of protein, say for example there are 10 grams of fat and then 10 grams of sugar, but only 19 grams of protein, that's okay. Even though the sugar and fat combined outweigh the protein, it's still okay to eat it, as long as the amount of protein separately stays higher than both sugar and fat. Then I'll still eat it. That's basically the rule that I generally follow with everything I eat. I want my protein intake to be as high as possible and my sugar and fat intake to be as low as possible. Now, there are healthy fats and healthy sugars, healthy natural sugars that outweigh the amount of protein in the food, like for example fruits or nuts. That's okay to eat. Those are things I even add in my diet. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So moving on to the last meal of the day, I usually eat this meal a while after I work out. So around 6 to 8 p.m. I'll eat this. And it's 3 small chicken breasts. The reason why I can't show you the packaging is because I need to go to the store and get some more. But I want to say that I don't use 3 full chicken breasts. It's a smaller version of the chicken breast. I don't know how to explain it. They're kind of cut up versions of chicken breast. But anyways, I add some seasoning to the chicken. I cook it up on the pan. I prefer cooking chicken on the pan rather than the oven or air fryer, because it just tastes better in my opinion. It has better texture. So while I'm cooking the chicken, I start to make my rice at the same time. I use 2 scoops of rice, and I put it in the pot, and while that's going on, I'll throw some frozen veggies in the microwave. And this is the result. I also add some of the sauce, which tastes pretty amazing. It's a staple on this kind of meal. So this is pretty much what I eat to maintain my physique. I'm not really in a caloric deficit, nor am I in a surplus. I'm simply maintaining my weight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little quick video. Just leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment. Really appreciate you guys commenting and seeing what your input is on things I talk about. So just subscribe if you want to.